What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and we are talking about Bitcoin Cash today. Shout out to the Dragon Riders out there. It is the 27th of July, and here we are at about $596, 8 hours and 10 minutes left in the day. What a bullish finish to this week we are having, you guys. Looking at the weekly time frame here, absolutely stunning on the RSI. Stochastics look great. The MACD is phenomenal, man. This is a phenomenal looking. I mean, we are just getting started. And on the RSI, looking at this here, I remember, and it's been a second since we've talked about this, but I remember, back here, maybe even back down here, whenever we were starting to move up, I was saying that what I expect out of this overbought reading is that it'll be stronger than this one, and it might even be the strongest weekly overbought reading that we've ever seen in Bitcoin Cash's history. In other words, yes, we're at areas that we found resistance before. No, it doesn't stop here. In fact, it's just getting started, guys. It's just getting started. If you look at the RSI, it might not look like it's just getting started. It might look like it's near the end, right? It might look like it's at an area that you found resistance before. But if you look at the price, you look at the price action here, that's where you can tell that it's just getting started, because you take this high, you connect it down to this high, and boom. We're breaking out of a multi-cycle, lifelong consolidation phase, right? Some people say that Bitcoin Cash has been in a downtrend its whole life, but it hasn't been in a downtrend any more than it's been in an uptrend, right? It's just because it has higher lows doesn't mean it's in an uptrend. Just because it has lower highs doesn't mean it's in a downtrend. This trend line is downward trending, but it's a consolidation phase. We're breaking out of it, and clearly we're breaking out of it now, right? Clearly we are. We're starting this breakout on low volume. I will admit it's low volume, but that's okay. I don't think that we really need a whole lot of volume until we get above like $730. That's whenever it's like really truly breaking out. And again, looking at this weekly time frame on the RSI, if you've noticed, we've had more iterations this cycle than we ever have in Bitcoin Cash's history being in the overbought zone in one bull cycle, right? More continuous, repetitive iterations back to back in the overbought zone than we ever have before. Not only that, but we've also had the strongest, this reading here on the RSI is actually just a little bit stronger than that, the strongest reading and strongest readings ever in Bitcoin Cash's history in the RSI. And I do believe that here we're going to get the first reading that's above the 90. The strongest reading that we will probably see this whole bull market is coming in, ushered by this move here. We're up $597 now. 8.9% on the week. This is weak stuff. This is cute, right? I know. Bitcoin Cash has been boring. So much so that a 9% pump in a week has people excited. You guys, this is weak stuff. You're not going to get out of bed in a month. You're not getting out of bed for a 9% pump in a day. It's going to be through the freaking roof, man. We're going to get stuff like this, where here on that week you're up 143%. I'm serious. We're going to have weeks that are like that, where you pump over 100%. We're going to have back-to-back weeks that are pumping double, triple, quadruple what we're doing now. It's coming. And it's going to take us all the way to the land of the promised, which is above last cycle's highs. That's where we're going. And I wouldn't be surprised if it happened faster, if this happened faster than the average altcoin's performance, right? I'm not saying that it'll outperform. I do think it'll outperform the average altcoin. I just mean I think the average altcoin tops off in late August or September. Maybe Bitcoin Cash tops off before then. Maybe it tops off in early August, mid-August. Sometimes it does top off a little bit earlier. Last cycle we topped off in May instead of November with a lot of cryptos. We topped off a little bit earlier. What about, let's see. What about back here? December, we topped off earlier than a lot of cryptos did as well. we might top off a little earlier here as well. But again, things are a bit different right now. Things are different here at $598. We just keep moving up, dollar by dollar, baby. We'll take it. Things are a bit different here than they have been throughout your whole life, because we're actually breaking out of this range now. So as far as potential goes, I'm giving you the minimum target, the absolute expected minimum, which would be a 1.6 to 2,200 price, right? 2,200, 1.6 thousand. That's the minimum zone that we would go to. We could absolutely demolish that. We could go all the way up to our all-time high area, or past that even. We don't know. We don't know what we're dealing with. Really, what we're dealing with, you guys, is a massive, absolutely massive W pattern. Can you see it? Can you see the W? It's a massive W. And W's, they don't stop until they are above where they began, right? And this one began all the way over here, a successful W at least. So who's to say, I mean, we're at $600 right now, essentially. Who's to say that we're not at $6,000 by the end of August. We really could be. We really could see some fireworks fly. It would be absolutely intense and immense and crazy, but I wouldn't be surprised in the least if we had something like that coming our way. Again, my expectation, I'm saying this, my expectation is completely in this zone. If we go to this box and we stop here, I'm going to be like, I called it. I told you for months, for years, we were expecting this area. And it's only gone up higher, right? The longer you consolidate, the bigger the move is. But if we were to go up higher, first off, I wouldn't be correct. This is not what I'm assuming is going to happen. I just wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be like, I told you we were going here. I would be like, yeah, I'm not surprised. This thing's got some pent up aggression, years of doubt, years of is condemnation the word? Condemnation in this zone here, right? I call it the desert, right? This is the desert. We've been in the desert. You're the rightful heir to the throne. You've been exiled from your kingdom. You've been banished to the desert. We're finally breaking out of the desert. We're coming back home to reclaim the throne, man. This thing is going to rip through the freaking roof. I'm curious, what are we doing as far as coin market cap goes? What's the rankings? I got to reload it. It says 16 now, but it might be higher. We're above Avalanche. That's all I know. Still at number 16. Okay. We're coming for you, Hedera. We're coming for you, Chainlink, Stellar. Sui and Hyperliquid don't stand a chance. These guys are tourists. It's nice to see them here, you know, but they probably time will tell. What do I know? This is my third bull market. They probably won't be relevant. Maybe Hyperliquid could be relevant next cycle. Sweet, and they might be relevant, but they're not going to be relevant in like the top 20. You know what I mean? They're going to be like DAI from last cycle, like Aave from last cycle, like Chronos from last cycle, like I think Athenos from last cycle too, like Near from last cycle, right? Like Ondo. Well, Ondo isn't from last cycle. ICP was, what, right? What else? Algorand, right? VeChain, I think VeChain still has some relevance, though, so that's not fair. But a lot of these coins that have, you know, they've been around from last cycle, they're still in the top 100. They still have relevance. But they're not, they were coins that were in the top 20 at one point, now they're not. You know what I mean? That's what's coming for you, Hyperliquid and Sui. But what else is coming for you is Bitcoin Cash. We're coming for your market cap dominance. We are coming for the top 10. It's happening. And I believe that we're going to realize that potential with this movement here. It's happening. That's the expectation. All in all, super bullish. Obviously super bullish. Let's do the short-term stuff, okay? I thought I blinked and I thought I saw it say $608. I was like, whoa, we're moving up. 1 hour time frame looks bullish as hell. Of course it does. Of course it does. Super bullish. You know, there's something, look at all that volume too on the 1 hour time frame actually relative to this. I know I said we didn't get a lot of volume, but man, maybe not on a weekly basis, but on this day, Sunday, on a low volume day like Sunday, we're getting some good volume. Very strong readings here. Bitcoin Cash is super volatile. I was thinking last night when I made my video, I was thinking we might pull back a little bit, but I don't know if we do, man. We're in a different time now. We're so used to this volatility, this kind up and down, but it's different now, man. It's different. This volume here, this consistent volume moving up, man, I wouldn't be surprised by the time you guys watch this, we're well above $600. 4 hour MACD is getting higher on the histogram, seeing higher readings in the oscillators as well. Stochastics are super bullish. The RSI is just getting started, you guys. Big things are coming. Big things are coming, man. Absolutely. They're happening right now, right before our eyes, and we're going to continue to run. This is what I mean, right? This whole rally, this whole move up, it's been very forgiving to the upside and the downside. Up and down and up and down and up and down and up and down. Now it's up and up. We break above this point here, there's no going back. We likely will never, ever again see prices below $500. And our days, and when I say ever again, I'm not talking about by the end of the cycle. I'm talking about ever again. Ever, never. It's never happening again. In a couple days, in a couple weeks, we will never see prices below $600 again. In a month or two, we will never see prices below $1,000 again. By the end of this cycle, we'll probably never see prices that are below our current all-time highs, all the way up at like $4,000 to $5,000 there. Like this thing is going to have a very robust move. By the end of the cycle, where I'm thinking we're going to go is somewhere around, my expectation is something around 13K to, I mean, that's the minimum target, man. I mean, we could go higher. We really could go higher, a lot higher. I don't want to jinx it, but man, we could see this thing go all the way up to like $53,000, $56,000, something like that. Genuinely. If Bitcoin, it's just a matter of time. Notice what's going to happen, okay? Not financial advice, not a financial advisor. You hear it from people who talk about Bitcoin Cash religiously. You hear it from people who are part of the community, in the Bitcoin Cash community and ecosystem, okay? if Bitcoin can do it, Bitcoin Cash can do it. If Bitcoin can reach $118,000, Bitcoin Cash can. That doesn't mean it's going to this cycle, but just this is like, think of it as like, this is the front runner. Okay, this is the time machine, the portal back to when Bitcoin was worth $100,000, $118,000 less. Okay, if Bitcoin can get there, Bitcoin Cash can get there. It's just a matter of time. Okay, you're going to start to hear, and that's not a new narrative. I think a lot of people say that in the Bitcoin Cash ecosystem, or at least aware of that, right? What's going to be new is that you're going to start to hear a lot of people talk about it. People that don't normally talk about Bitcoin Cash. The light is going to shine through. The wool is going to be pulled from over their eyes, and you're going to start to see and hear people say exactly the same rhetorics that we've been touting for years, which is that if Bitcoin can do it, what's the possibility of Bitcoin Cash? Right? It's going to get there. It's a time machine. It's a portal back in time, and we're going to see this thing go all the way up. I think by the end of the cycle, 13K to 54K, maybe right there in the middle at 22K, something like that. But I got nothing else. I appreciate you all for being here. Good job, Bitcoin Cash. We'll see you on the next one. Hit the like button, subscribe. Take care. Bye-bye.